All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, for being here today. As I mentioned to you, this will be the final AMA session for the year, 2025. All right. So since we are moving, I think this month is going to be a very, everyone is going to get busy, right? Because we're going to move into the festive holidays. People are traveling, holidays and so on. So I don't want, to keep having a meeting where some of them are not able to attend. And even if I put a recording, right, not everyone is actually watching the recording and so on. Okay, but those of you who are part of JDXBOT, I think it is important for you to be updated. Even if you are not able to join the live session, all right, it is good to go through some of this video during the weekends and so on, so that you are updated with what is really taking place, right? So that is really important. Okay. Okay, guys, these are the topics that I want to quickly cover today. Okay, so first thing first, definitely, I just want to give you an insight into the crypto market, situation at the moment. We had an FOMC meeting earlier this morning, and I think most of you saw, right, the volatility of the market. That's why, as I mentioned to you guys, this is the most difficult or the most challenging market or the cycle that we are in. All right. So any traders, even if they are doing live trading, right, it is going to be a very challenging, because even like this early morning during the FOMC, right, you saw the price when Jerome Powell is speaking, right, price does not really move much, but I think the time he ended, Bitcoin start to shoot up. I think it shoot up close to probably 94,800 or 95,000. So I was expecting for the breakout, because if Bitcoin cannot break above 95,000, it is an uphill task for Bitcoin to break out, okay, to actually move upside. So, and then we saw a massive sell-off, right, taking place, right? So I'm going to share with you what is really happening, what is my target, okay, what am I really looking forward for Bitcoin, what is the sentiment that is really affecting the price of Bitcoin and so on. And then I'm going to give you some quick updates on JDXBOT. These are some of the new automation features that we have actually added during this time, okay, where the market is floating. Actually, it gives our technical team, opportunity to add new features into the bot, okay. Now, then I want to just quickly share the results for October and November. And then I'm going to explain to you the revised strategy, subscription, and renewal fee for 2026. And also, right, the profit sharing fee revision moving into 2026. And thereafter, if there's any questions, any clarification, you may do so. Okay, so that is going to be very critical. Now, let's first of all look into the market, right? So now, if you look at over here, right, what I put up here, right, is basically a daily chart. Now, in this daily chart, right, you have seen how Bitcoin actually, moved towards this historical all-time high. Okay, it is actually respecting the historical all-time high, and it actually touches around 296,000. Now, thereafter, right, we saw correction. Right, we saw correction. Now, if you look into the pattern of this correction, right, every time it falls, right, you can see we have this channel. All right, we have this channel being created. Can you see that? We have this channel being created, and then it falls again, and then you see we have this channel, all right, being created. Right, this channel being created. All right, so you can see a similar pattern, right, is actually taking place. And then we saw the next fall, all right, the next fall, and then you can see another ascending channel is being created. Now, please understand, okay, if you are well versed with technical analysis, that you know that this, although it looks bullish in the short term, but in the long term, this pattern is actually a bear flag. All right, a bear flag. So that means that this price can move. Okay, it can actually move. Probably we will start to see the price hitting this level, and go up here again, and then probably we're going to see a massive drop. We do not know. But what I'm trying to say is that this is basically a classic bull flag. A classic bear flag. Right, a classic bear flag. So when a price comes down and it moves in the ascending, normally, right, it will actually drop down much lower. Okay, so this is something that I just want to give you a macro understanding about it. Okay, so that's the reason why, right? As I mentioned to you, I'm expecting if Bitcoin can actually reclaim 95,000, right? 95,000. Currently, you can see, right? 94,000 is where the resistance is. Okay, so if we can actually reclaim above 94 and stay above 94 and then go up above 98 or 96, okay, it is a good sign that Bitcoin is recovering back. Okay, but nevertheless, please understand we have this ascending channel. It can even go and retest, okay, the 100,000, and then we do not know, right? Bitcoin can actually even crash from there, or it can have a much bigger correction. Okay, so my expectation is at least, right, Bitcoin can actually retest the 100,000, or it can go at least up to about 105, 106. I think that could probably be the max for Bitcoin, all right, for this cycle. Okay, now in terms of the timing, right, I do not have any kind of fixed timing. But what I'm really thinking is that Christmas is just around the corner. All right, high likely we're going to see some kind of upside traction of Bitcoin price moving towards Christmas, where everyone will be thinking that this is where the price is actually moving, right? And everybody is going to get excited during this festive holiday and so on. And then we're going to see, major correction taking place. So that is basically what I'm actually anticipating, or what I'm actually the foresight, okay, that I have about the market at this moment. So, but it may play out, it may not play out, but nevertheless, please understand we are moving within this ascending channel, and this channel is a bear flag channel. All right. Now, if we go to the monthly, right? So as I always mention, right, look into the money flow. Money flow is already basically at the overbought. All right. Now, there can be a situation where we can see money flow go up again. But nevertheless, please understand, this range is actually overbought range. All right. So that means that there is high likely we're going to see price is actually coming down. Now, if this, please understand, this is monthly. Okay. Now, if this happen on a monthly basis, right, this is going to take probably a year or so for the price to actually comes down. All right, so it can be a bear cycle starting very soon. All right, now that is on the monthly. So monthly overlook, it is still look in the macro, right? It is still looks bearish. Okay, then if you go on the weekly, right, you can see that on the weekly also, we are already coming down. So as I mentioned to you previously, I already highlighted this much earlier, right? Many weeks ago, that the weekly candle doesn't look good. All right. So when the weekly candle is building up, that is actually building up the monthly candle too. So you can see that on the weekly, we are actually moving down. Although there is correction, but this correction is not able to sustain the bullish sentiment of Bitcoin, high likely because there is not much liquid. There's not enough liquidity in the market, because a lot of the institution, right, the ETF institutions such as BlackRock, and so on, right, they are actually selling at this moment. All right, they are selling, so they are taking profit. So as I mentioned to you, a lot of this institution came in when Bitcoin was $45,000. So for them to sell at 90,000, 80,000, 70,000, 60,000, they are not at loss. They are still making money. All right. So that is basically what is happening now. Right. Now, if you go on the daily basis, all right. So this is what I showed you earlier on the daily basis. Now we are hitting this, this ascending baseline again. So are we going to push up again? Go up around 94,000 and then come down again? We are not so sure. Okay, but do look out for, and today is already Thursday, And you know that moving towards the weekend, right, a market can get weaker and weaker, right? So this is a very important outlook, okay, for the market, okay. Now, if the price goes down, next level to watch is definitely, right, 85,000, all right, is the level to watch, and then 80,000. If 80,000 breaks, panics will come in. A lot of people who are holding Bitcoin might actually sell and let go their Bitcoin, and then price can even go to 73 or 75,000. All right. Now, if 73, 75,000 doesn't hold, then I think it's going to be, I think that's where the bear will start to come in, and we could even see Bitcoin price, okay, hitting a range of 50,000, and high likely it can even retest the ETF approval, right? 45,000 or 40,000. All right. So if you are buying Bitcoin, if you want to, I think probably it will be good to wait patiently. Cash is king. All right. Wait patiently, because you will have massive opportunity to probably buy at a discounted rate. All right. This is important. Now, I want to show you something, right? If we go back to the Bitcoin all-time historical, okay, I just want to cover this. I was just looking at this data yesterday, right? So I just want to show you something that is really, really interesting here, okay? Now, this is on the weekly, all right? On the weekly, right? So if you look on the weekly, right? And I actually, what I've done is that what I really want you to see is that the Bitcoin price, okay, started from, 2029, okay, 29, started from 29. Can you see that? So started from 29, and then we had, let me just, okay, so we had the first halving, right? First halving is somewhere 2012. Now look at what happened here, right? After the halving, Bitcoin price went up. Now, please understand that, okay, during this time, I think this is the highest return ever. All right, this is the highest return ever in terms of the percentage. And thereafter, we had the second halving, and then you can see, all right. Now, what we are looking here is the compress. Can you see that? The trend is showing a compress, okay, of the Bitcoin price action or the price movement, right? So after the halving, price move up, and then we saw, price came down, and then the third halving. Now look at it from one halving to another, right? Okay, if you look into the price or the profit, all right, that is actually generated by the users or those who are holding Bitcoin, the profit is actually, compressing, right? It is compressing, right, from one cycle to another cycle. All right. So this is important to understand, because as we move through one cycle to another cycle, you can see the compression is getting, tighter and tighter. All right. Now, this is what we call a diminishing return. All right. Diminishing return. So you can see the highest return is actually at the beginning. And thereafter, the second halving, you can see the return is actually compressing. And then look at the third halving. The return is much, much diminishing. And now look at where we are, right? The ETF happened somewhere here. All right. And thereafter, you saw the price move up. But look into the return. It is diminishing. All right. Now, I always mention, right, that there is a danger here, right? There is a danger here. And normally, right, I understand what I really looking towards when we talk about the cycle, right? Normally, every 15 years cycle, we start to see Bitcoin price, right? Now, I'm not saying that this can happen, okay? But what I'm trying to say is that if this compression, okay, respected, and if this 15-year cycle has ended, that means the next cycle is going to be this way. Can you see that? It's going to be this way. So, all right. So, I think I already highlighted this before. And when I put up this kind of video, people don't like, all right, me putting up the video. All right. But the thing is that I understand that everybody wants to see Bitcoin goes up, right? Parabolic, right? 1 million and so on. How if This is the last 15-year cycle, and then we're going to start to see Bitcoin price coming down. All right. Now, please understand. Okay, my view of the Bitcoin is that high likely. Okay, with the AI, that 2026 probably will be the boom of the AI industry. Now, if AI comes into picture, right, and just imagine, right, AI may actually take over, all right, Bitcoin. All right, so that means that a lot of the money will actually move into AI industry, no longer into crypto. So how if this is, the final, okay, the final 15-year cycle for Bitcoin? All right, I just want you to think about it. All right, so now looking into the return, right, you can see the returns are diminishing from one cycle to another. All right, now although, right, you may say that, wow, the institutions are making big money and so on. You are right, because please understand that the price is now no longer $6 or $98, right? The price is now $100 and so on. So definitely, right, in terms, but if you look into the percentage, actually the percentage is actually diminishing. All right, and also when you look into the losses are huge, right? You're talking about billions or trillions of losses, but in terms of the percentage, right, it's actually diminishing. Right, so this is, I think, a very important macro outlook so that you can see the behavior from each of the cycle. Now if you look, right, the fourth cycle is, I think, is already completely broken. It is no longer it is no longer actually repeating the previous cycle. All right, you can see that the fourth cycle is completely broken. All right, now just imagine, guys, okay, if I would just, if we would just see over here, right, imagine, all right, if the price starts to go down here, right, you are talking about 38,000, 40,000. Can you see that? You're talking about 38,000, 40,000. All right, but please understand, all right, this is not this is not what I'm trying to say, but I believe this can still go up, right? This can still go up. Can you see that? So you can see where the price will be, probably 45,000, 50,000. Bitcoin can even move in this manner. All right, and then it comes to this, and then it starts to go down from here, right? Can you see that? So that's the reason why I'm telling you guys there is a danger here. Probably it is already the top. All right, it is already the top, and we are going to start to see descending, right? Price Bitcoin start to descend for the next probably multiple cycle, not just the fifth halving, the sixth halving, the seventh halving. It can actually start to descend from the fourth halving onwards. Okay, fifth halving onwards, things can actually change, right? So I think this is a very important macro perspective of how I see the market. Okay, high likely, right? The age of crypto is already ending. With the institution ETF coming on board, they actually have hijacked, okay, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is no longer, no longer fighting its original mission. It is no longer, a centralized, it's no longer a decentralized tool. It is no longer a store of value, all right? It's no longer. But if you say, right, if somebody would have hold their Bitcoin, sorry, all right, if they hold their Bitcoin, let's say if they never sell their Bitcoin from the first halving, definitely I think they are the richest person now to sell it, right? If somebody bought at the second halving and they never sell at all, I think now is the time they should think about selling, some of their Bitcoin. That's the reason why we are hearing a lot of, this old Bitcoin wallet suddenly begin to get activated, right? And they started to send the Bitcoin to exchanges, and you can see a lot of the selling is taking place and so on. Okay, so this is the macro outlook, macro perspective, okay, of Bitcoin. Now another thing is that I was actually doing some study today regarding to the issue that is actually why the Bitcoin price, what is the sentiment that is leading towards this price war, okay, of Bitcoin, right? What is really happening, right? Now, as I mentioned to you guys, we have an issue here whereby you know the strategy, right? Known as MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is currently leading in terms of controlling the Bitcoin market. All right, everybody knows that. All right, now, please understand that a strategy in November have actually got a approval for STRC. All right, now STRC is an instrument, right? It's an instrument whereby, all right, whereby user can actually use the STRC to actually acquire Bitcoin. Okay, this is a collateral. Okay, they are actually providing collateral. So it's designed to trade close to par and provide a yield back indirectly by the company BTC holding. So investor buy the STRC share and strategy uses this proceed to hold more Bitcoin. So that makes STRC a novel bridge between corporate finance and now this is a huge thing, right? None of the institutions have actually done this before. So strategy is actually pioneering something new. So what they do is that they provide collateral. All right, they provide collateral and they are paying, I think, around probably 10.5% yield a year, all right, to the institutions who are actually providing the collateral. Now, this is huge. Now, please understand, no other instrument, no banks, JP Morgan, no other instrument actually provide this kind of financial, instrument, right? So strategy is doing this. Now, please understand, when strategy is doing this, these big banks, right? These big giants bank, they are not happy. All right, they are not happy, right? So JP Morgan, BlackRock, I think there is a conspiration going on, and they are going after strategy. All right, they are going after strategy. I have actually done some research. I've gone through ChatGPT, not to ask a lot of different questions and so on. All right, so you guys can actually just study through, right? But what I'm trying to say is that they are going after strategy. And because of this, right? Because if they can stop this collateral, that means that strategy will not have liquidity. If strategy don't have liquidity, then strategy cannot buy Bitcoin. And strategy cannot be, okay, the powerhouse of Bitcoin, right? So now, this is actually creating unnecessary tension between the financial institutions and so on. Because please understand, the banks are coming in. All right, you can see the banks are coming in. The banks are starting to offering lending where client can pledge Bitcoin, spot ETF as collateral for loan. Now, they are also launching structured note ETF linked products. But what the banks are doing is a synthetic Bitcoin. It is not real Bitcoin. So that means that they are basically producing paper Bitcoin. All right, they are not producing, and they even can't actually fake the transaction of Bitcoin because everything is recorded in the blockchain. All right, so now this is a huge, okay, this is, I think, a huge war between the banks and strategy. All right, and I think this is the reason why BlackRock, and a lot of these financial institutions are high likely, okay, they are probably, okay, purposely liquidating Bitcoin. All right, liquidating Bitcoin to put pressure on strategy. All right, so now this is just to give you some scenario, okay, some idea into what do I think that is taking place, in this space, okay, not in this space, okay. So this is something that is let me just give me a minute. Let me switch the network. All right. Okay, can you guys hear me well? Are you able to hear me well now? Yeah, if you are able to hear me, just put up, just put up a thumbs up or something like that, just to confirm that you can hear me well. All right. Okay, great. Okay, I think it's probably just the network. I've just switched the network. Should be fine then. Okay, so that is, I think, something that I want you guys to understand. Okay. Now, any one of you have any question about the crypto insight that I've been sharing with you? Any question that you have to clarify before I proceed? Anyone? You can raise hand at the bottom there, or you can put up in the chat. Okay. Please understand the chat is only will be directing to me. Okay. So none of you can see your peers' chat. This is to prevent some of these phishing scam. Okay. That is now trying to come into, to scam and to do, some of these stupid things, all right? So, but nevertheless, I can see your chat. So please do send me if there's any question and so on, okay? All right, any question, guys, on this insight? I hope this is helpful, okay? Now, if it is helpful, just put up there, right? Just put up there in the chat, just say that you are blessed, or, because this kind of insight, right, is something that probably not provided outside that. There are a lot of things going on now because the bank is now coming in. The bank is not happy, okay, because strategies and some of these institutions now providing Bitcoin as collateral. Now, definitely the bank is not going to be happy. The reason being is that a lot of their customers now are going to jump on board into strategy, right? So banks will not be happy, all right? And because of that, this is going to be a war, okay, among themselves, actually, right? Among themselves, among the institution itself. And I think if you look back at the history, right, how they control gold, all right, how they control gold, right? So, and also how they are controlling silver. Now, all this previously, remember, anyone can own gold, but now you can't. You need a license to own gold. So they can actually control. And the amount of gold that you actually hear may not be the real amount. It can be a synthetic gold, all right? Because the real gold that is been probably been mined is not equal to the gold that has been reported. Can you understand me? So imagine if that would happen to Bitcoin, right? So if these banks comes in and they try to, synthesize or you start to have synthetic Bitcoin. Just imagine that. Okay, but strategy is providing real Bitcoin. All right, real Bitcoin. And they are doing collateral, using real Bitcoin, because no one can fake Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is an on-chain transaction, is a blockchain. So no one can go. So this is the biggest, drawdown to the banks, to all these, superpowers, because they can't fake Bitcoin. All right. But anyhow, this is just to give you an idea, right? What is really going on. This is the reason why, okay? This is the reason why, if you get back, okay, into the study, right? I did explain about, that the reason, right, whereby MSTR, right? MSSI, can you see that? MSSI actually have sent a very strong, letter, right, to strategy regarding, removing them from the stock. All right, removing them from the stock. I think strategy has already responded. So these are some of the real issue that is going on. So when this kind of issues are going on, what happens is that investors starts to become fear. All right, they start to get worried about their investment in Bitcoin and so on. So they start to, they start to probably liquidate their fund, their fund with BlackRock or whatever, right? They start to sell and they start to put their money into gold, into silver, all right? So that's why you see suddenly gold and silver price is, moving up and so on, okay? So this is just, so we do not know, guys. So I won't take any narrative, okay, to say that Bitcoin is the future, all right? Because anything can happen. But nevertheless, as I mentioned to you, the game plan, right, for JD Wealth Maker community is different. Our game plan is to hold Bitcoin, to hold stablecoin. All right. So you then leverage on this institution. Let the institution make the mistake, but you then leverage on them. All right. So let them fight. Okay. While they are fighting, you must leverage on them. All right. So this is basically what I would advise the team, to really think on it. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Now, if there is anyone else have any questions, any other doubt, anything that you want to clarify about, about this insight into Bitcoin? Okay, right. Now if none, then let's just continue, right? Let's continue. So that just to give you a quick macro outlook regarding to what I see and how why Bitcoin is behaving in such a manner. Because please understand, guys, no one actually ever imagined with the institution coming in, Bitcoin can even drop below 100,000. All right, but I already warned you before that it is possible, because institution doesn't care about store of value. All that they care is about profit taking. All right, and all that they care is about who becomes the superpower. All right, it is all about power. So the more Bitcoin they hold, the more powerful they become. All right, so it is the sovereignty. Okay, so this is where the whole industry is actually leading to. Okay, so please understand. Now, the next will be the JDXBOT updates. Okay, now please understand. Okay, if you are part of JDXBOT, you may see, okay, that as I mentioned to you, right, there are times, okay, when the market is volatile, the range is beautiful, you start to make nice profit. I think a lot of the new one that is coming in, probably they are seeing that, right? And then those of you who are already, been, and then you got this floating and so on, as I mentioned to you, right? Some of you probably already seeing the partial profit coming in. Some of you probably didn't see the partial profit, or once a while you see the partial profit. Then you see there is an ad order, the DCA taking place, and then you may see that your liquidation is being pushed away. Now, what is really happening here, right? So I want to be able to give you the insight into some of these new features that we have integrated, and also conditions for these features to trigger. Now, if you understand and you know what is the expectation, so at least you know what to do with your own bot. Okay, so this is important, right? Now, the first thing is that as you know, right, the bot has been integrated with an estimate liquidation control. All right. Now, whenever you see the estimate liquidation trigger, right, the order size is actually fixed at 0.0015 BTC. All right, that is probably like 2 or 3%. Okay. Of the order size. Okay, now this is, so you might see a multiple time the estimate liquidation being triggered. You might see multiple time, but you don't have to worry, because that multiple time is taking place in order to push your liquidation away. Okay, 12,000 points from the mark price. All right, so at the moment we are setting it, we initially set it at 15. Now we move it at 12,000. So we are keep adjusting the liquidation price based on the market situation. So at the moment, right, if you look into your liquidation from the mark price, it will be around 12,000 or more. All right. So this is an estimate liquidation control, and it is very important because this control frequency is actually taking place every 30 minutes. So that means that JDXBOT algorithm will check users' liquidation every 30 minutes. All right. So for example, right, let's say, for example, 100 bots is running. So from this 100 bot, probably, let's say, for example, one of the bot, the liquidation is 10,000 point. Another bot is 11,000 point. Another bot probably 10,500. Now the algorithm will actually attend to the worst first. So the worst is 10,000, right? So the algorithm will first push the 10,000 point away and keep it above 12,000. And then it will go and attend to the 10,500. So that is how it works, because it manages the most severe estimate liquidation price. Okay. So now, so these features is important, in order to make sure that none of the bot actually get liquidated. All right. So I hope you understand that. Okay. So if you see this trigger taking place, initially, I believe the trigger was quite frequent, because the market was very volatile. Currently, the market already, normalized, right? So when things are normalized, you might only see once a while, this kind of estimate liquidation control taking place. Or sometimes the liquidation control takes place when there is a partial profit taking, because when partial profit taking is actually triggered, your liquidation will come below 12,000. Then the algorithm will push it back above 12,000. All right. So I hope this is clear. Okay. So the first feature, right, that you need to understand is the estimate liquidation control. Now, the other one is the partial profit taking, right? This is for the hedging position, not the main position at the moment. We are looking at the hedging position. Now, in what condition will the partial profit trigger? Number one, your ROE is above 50%. All right, ROE is above 50%. Number two, estimate liquidation price must be above 12,000. Partial profit is now set at 10%. All right, so we don't do more than that because we also don't want the position to get liquidated. All right, now the position ratio must be above 0.3. So position ratio means that if you take the hedging position and you divide by your main position, all right, you will see the ratio. The lower the ratio, the better it is. But sometimes because of the severity of the market, we have no choice. We have to do the liquidation control. When we do the liquidation control, then your position ratio will be greater, all right, than 0.3. So how do we bring it down? We can bring it down through the partial profit taking, all right? Now, frequency of the partial profit taking is every 24-hour cycle. So if within the 24-hour partial profit taking is done for your bot, then it won't happen again. It will only happen the next 24 hours if the conditions meet. All right, if the condition doesn't meet, then you won't see the partial profit taking. And also, please understand, your main account balance must not drop below 20%. All right, it must be above 20%. All right, so even if it drops below 50%, it is fine. But once it reaches 20%, we will not do the partial profit, because if we do that, then your main account balance, okay, may be slightly depleted due to the fees and so on. All right, so please understand that. Okay, so this is the second integration that we have actually included. So all these things, right, actually running autonomous. Even I don't know sometimes it is actually taking place because it is already embedded into the bot. Okay, but our technical team are closely monitoring, and also I can see based on our daily report, there is profit for some users or certain users whose condition meet. So now, if you don't see your partial profit, then you need to look into this condition, why you don't see the partial profit. Okay, so that is the reason why I am doing this meeting, to explain to you these features that we have integrated and the trigger condition. All right. Now, the third thing is that DCA. So the DCA is always not to the main position. So if you look into the floating, right, the main position is actually long. Your hedging position is actually short at the moment, okay? Because please understand that we are actually counter trend trading, right? Now, this is only referring to those of you who are floating, right? Those of you who are new, I don't think so you got any floating. You guys are doing well, okay? No problem. These are for those users who are actually experiencing floating, right? Now, for DCA, the condition is that your main account balance must be above 50%. So if you don't see the DCA taking place, although you may say that I have fun in my sub account, it doesn't matter. If you have fun in the sub account, but if your main account is below 50%, then you won't see the DCA. Now, please understand that the reason of the DCA is to actually manipulate the entry price. So if we can bring your entry price closer to the current market price, then high likely if the market reverses, right, 96,000, 95,000, a lot of the positions currently floating is around average around 96,000. So if the market reverses above 96, then your position may close faster than those who are at 98 or so on, okay? So that is the reason why the DCA is important. So the first condition is your main account must be above 50%, or else the DCA won't take place. Number two, your estimate liquidation is above 12,000. This one we got no worry, because the estimate liquidation control always make sure that you are above 12,000. Position ratio, no issue, 0.3. And this frequency is also every 24 hours, at least once a day. All right, at least once a day if the condition meets. So if you are not seeing the DCA, that The reason could be because your available balance has dropped. Now, please understand, okay, for BTC especially, right, the available balance can actually vary, very, very fast, all right, because the price fluctuation of Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin value drop, you see suddenly your available balance drop. It's not that your asset is, you lose your asset. No, it's just that the value drop because of the fluctuation of the price. Suddenly you see, hey, why suddenly my value is above 50%? Because Bitcoin price has gone up. All right, so that is the only challenge, okay, when it comes to trading for crypto, especially Bitcoin, all right? And the other feature that we have integrated is the leverage adjustment. Now, I know that, okay, some people, when I look into their available balance, right, they drop below 50%, right? Now, I have a good news for you, all right? We have integrated, this is the latest feature. We have just integrated, I think, 2 days back. So what will happen is that when your main account balance drop by 50%, right, we have actually, the algorithm will adjust your leverage from 40x to 50x. Now, how many of you who are floating now seeing your bot is 50x? Put up there in the chat room. Now, when we adjust the leverage from 40 to 50, what happened? Now, the orders that are currently, okay, in the trading, the amount will be sent back. Okay, I think about 5% of the amount that is currently the order size will return back to your main account. Okay, will return back to your main account. So that is the beauty of adjusting the leverage. We can't adjust much, okay? So that is the reason why, if you ask me, right, why do we put 40? Because when this kind of situation arises, right, we can adjust the leverage higher, and this 5% will return back into your main account. So high likely, right, if your main account has dropped by 50%, you will see suddenly your main account now is above 50%. And then you don't receive the critical alert email. Okay, so this is the new feature that we have just integrated, I think probably around 48 hours ago. So probably some of you would have already seen that your leverage is now at 50x, not 40x as we started. All right. So please understand, okay, this only happen if your main account balance drop below 50%, automatically your leverage will change. Okay, so this is another, I will say, another beautiful features that will help so that you don't get a critical alert email yet because your available balance is still above 50%. All right. So you can see, guys, actually at this time, right, the severity of the market is also a huge opportunity for myself and the technical team to actually study what are the improvements that we want to do, because when we see that some users tell us that, oh, I don't have the fund anymore, so what to do? You can't do anything, right? You have to wait for the price to actually reverse. So when the price reverses, your available balance will start to increase, all right? But when the price drop, how to solve the problem? So one of the way that I have actually done is that to adjust the leverage. So you can see, all right? Now, because of my expertise in futures trading, I know exactly what needs to be done, all right? But sometimes we are waiting for the right market condition to integrate certain kind of features, all right? So I hope, all right, I hope you guys understand now. So these are the features. Yes, that's right. Okay, so you can see, some of you already see, the features. Okay, so now, so in this manner, right, you can see that if we can adjust the leverage, keep your available balance above 50%, at least you won't be receiving email in that shorter time. But please understand, if the market further goes down, we can't be adjusting leverage anymore. So if it goes down below 50% thereafter, then you have to basically top up your sub account. And when you top up your sub account, it will immediately send that amount to your main account. Then the DCA will take place. All right. So please understand that if your main account is below 50%, even after the leverage, your DCA won't take place. All right. So this is important. So that's why we can see that different users have different entry price, because some users, they are still doing DCA. Some users that are no longer DCA. All right, so some users at 94,000, some users at 95, some users at 96, and so on. So the entry price of their long position can be different. All right, so just to give you an idea, okay. But nevertheless, do take note of all these features that has been integrated. You may not feel it. You may not feel it. Sometimes you are not aware of it, but it doesn't matter. Okay, that is the reason why AMA session is important, because now you can see that, wow, we never know, right, that these features are all working to support us. That's why now, guys, please understand, okay, some of you probably would have got liquidated much earlier. Why you did not get liquidated? Because these features are actually working on your behalf. So that's the reason why I told you guys that our focus is to safeguard the position. So while we safeguarding, we also have the, partial profit taking. So partial profit taking may not be huge, but it is good to have small amount of profit coming in, on and off, right? And then at the same time, we do the DCA to bring the entry price closer, and also, right, making sure that, all these things are working well so that everyone is protected. And when the market reverses, then we can start to close all the position. All right. So I hope, all right, I hope the team appreciate, some of these improvement, okay, that we are putting, okay, we are putting. Now, the thing is that now some of you may say that, okay, if I have no more fun, then what to do? You can't do anything, right? You have to wait patiently for the market to reverse, because when the market reverse, you will see your available balance now actually move back to 50%. And then the DCA will start to happen, okay? So even if you receive the email, it can be irritating, but there is no choice, okay? Because as long as your available balance is below 50%, every hour you will receive the email to remind you, all right? To remind you. So this is important. These are important processes that has been put in place, okay? So you just have to ignore the email. Okay, some people say, okay, then what happened if my available balance reaches zero? High likely no, it is not that easy to reach zero. But even if it's reached zero, will you get liquidated? No, because your estimate liquidation price is currently 12,000 points away. So you will only get liquidated if the market further go against you and hit your liquidation when your available balance is zero. I hope you get me, okay? So this is how the futures trading actually works. All right, this is how it works. So you might be worried, oh, if I get zero, what happened? Because please understand, we do have users, currently their available balance is zero. Honestly, to tell you, have they got liquidated? No, because their liquidation price is still far away. And then when the price suddenly, right, recovers, right, you see from zero, it becomes 5% or 10%. Okay, so we do have, okay, so just take note of this information, okay, because some of you might be worrying, oh, if I don't have, then how, right? Then you keep actually looking for fun, right? So you don't have to do that, okay? You don't have to do that, but it is good that you actually getting the emails notifying you and so on, okay? But that are part of the process that we have put in place, okay? All right, so this is the first update, okay? Now, the second update, the second is that just to give you a quick overview of the results, right? October and November, these are net profit. That means that after deduction of all the fees, okay, these are the clean net profit our users, has been earning. But we are using our R&D bots, guys. So the results may not be, okay, some, as I mentioned, right? It may not be typical, okay? Results vary from one user to another user. I do have a few users, they know their strategy wallet is already empty. Their bot already stopped. They don't have new position. They do nothing about it. So just imagine, right? If your strategy wallet is already depleted and you do nothing, your bot deactivated. So that means your results will be different than the other user. Some user, I saw that there is one user, the sub-account amount is not matched the main account. So the bot is not running. Now, as I always mention, the sub-account always put more than your main, okay? Keep your sub-account a little bit more than your main. All right? Because if your sub-account suddenly drop by $1, it doesn't match, it won't start. So now you can see, right? That's why I say the results is not typical. The result can vary from one user to another because remember, one factor is users still manage their own fund. We don't manage your fund. So if you receive an email that your strategy wallet is depleted and you decided you don't want to top up, then your bot will not run after that cycle. Simple as that. So if you receive an error email saying that your sub account, fund is insufficient, although it's $1, your bot will not run. So there are factors, okay, that can defer the result from one user to another. Okay, so we are using our R&D bot. Okay, so our results may not even be similar with everyone, but roughly, okay, this is basically like a like an average outlook of the results. Okay, just take note of that. All right. So if we look into the month of October, I think most of you know, right? The month of October, the USDT, right? So we got USDT, USDC, and also BTC, right? So this is the October results, and then we got the November result. But I think to easily see the performance, let's look into the total result, right? So if you look into the total result for the month of October, the net profit is around 32%. So that is an average of 1.03% daily. Right? Now, in the month of November, okay, we recorded 26.5%. So that is about 0.88% daily. Now, this is massive, right? In terms of the return. When you talk about net profit, that means that after deducting everything, right? If you are able even to get 0.5% daily, I think that is awesome. That is like 15% a month, right? So, but I think this is also a massive milestone of achievement because remember, guys, October onwards was the volatile market. All right, was the massive volatile market. We have the massive crash in October, but yet all the bot is safeguarded, and our user made the highest return ever in the month of October. And then we saw a massive volatile market in the month of November, while many traders got liquidated, yet JDXBOT managed, all right, to even deliver around 25-26% net profit. So what will be the result in December? I don't know, but I think the result can differ, can be even greater, or it can be lower, right, because of the floating. But we are doing something here. I think so that we're going to probably turn around the results. Probably December will be one of the highest ever performance. We don't know, but there are some R&D that I'm currently doing. I'll be sharing with the team later on once I've already completed, okay, the test results and so on, because there can be a slight change of the strategy to further improve the way we control, the bot, the positions of our users, and also, to realize much greater profitability. Okay, so just take note. So this is just to give you an idea, all right, of the performance for the month of October and also November. All right. So I hope that you guys are happy so far with what is happening, because remember, right, our new strategy was only implemented end of September. So that means the whole month of October, the whole month of November, we already have the result. And also, please understand, we never promise any fixed return, right? No fixed ROI, okay? This is what the market gives you, you take it. We don't control your return, all right? Depends on your capital, you just take whatever return it is because we don't control, all right? So it's a limitless earning, all right? But it's also depend because we are doing real trading. So sometimes it is floating, you might not see the result, but you may see a partial profit, all right? So just understand that, because at the end of it, right, JDXBOT focuses on top priority is to safeguard the position. That is our top priority. And then come the profitability, all right? So this is important. So both are important, but our top priority, it is still safeguarding, all right? So this is most important, okay? So I hope you guys are happy, all right? I hope you guys are happy, encouraged, being part. I know the new one, I think some of you have sent some testimonies, how you are pleased with the performance and so on. Good to hear, okay? Good to hear. I think you are probably in the range of the market where you are seeing profit. You came in at the right time and so on, okay? So I think that is really awesome to be able to see that ordinary people are generating extraordinary income. Okay, I think that is the biggest, the biggest reward of greatness, right? Biggest reward of, of satisfaction, to be able to become a blessing, to ordinary people, to start to generate extraordinary income, right? So that is great. Okay, now, please also understand, I've already hinted out about this, right? That we're going to revise the subscription fee of the strategy, okay, moving forward 2026. So when will this take place? I just want to give you an idea, because some of you probably have no idea because you can be new, right? But those of you who has been from the beta testing, you know how we started, right? You know how we started. What is the subscription fees and so on. Okay, so just take note. Okay, moving forward 2026, right? The strategy fee, okay, we will revise the strategy fee. Right now, please understand, this strategy fee has been around for the past 2 years, 2024, 2020, 2025. So we did not change it, because at that time our focus is basically, just to keep the strategy fee as it is. Okay, all right. Now, moving forward, right? First, 2026, 1st January. If you come in with one strategy, it will be 150. Two strategy is 250 instead of 300. So you save $50. And if you buy all the 3 strategy at once, it is 300. All right, or else you have to pay 450. So you save 150. All right. Now this is a 365 days. So if you are a new, you will enjoy 1 month free, okay, of the subscription. Okay. So do take note. Now you might be asking, right? Actually, the increase is not much, because other bots are probably much expensive outside there. And also, I believe with the returns and the profitability, right, people will be able to recover very fast. But the reason why we structured it in this way, because at the moment, right, I think 98% of the users are all actually purchased 3 bot. Okay, we don't have users who actually have 1 bot running, right? Most of them, okay, about 98% of our users are all actually 3 bot. All right, so therefore, right, but you can see that even we didn't increase, actually 300 was our original price. Okay, 300, but we gave discount of $50 for the past 2 years. So moving forward, there is no more discount, because we are already at the final stage of JDXBOT. So user will pay the $300. Now, this is also a good news for those of you who are referring others. Remember, right? When you refer others, you enjoy 20%, okay, as a direct referral. So when we change the subscription fees, that means that you are going to enjoy more, because the 20% doesn't change. All right, so 20% of 150, 250, or 300. So this is going to be a huge benefit enough for our global team. All right, so you're going to enjoy total subscription, total referral commission is 30%, right? Level 1 is 20%, and level 2, you're going to enjoy 10%. All right, so I think this is going to be a huge benefit moving forward, because as I mentioned, right, moving forward, our focus will be, to secure more users, because we're going to only, okay, allow, I think, a maximum of 330 users, which is equivalent to 1,000 bots. So if every user comes in with 3 bots, that will be a maximum of 1,000 bots. So once we hit the 1,000 bots, we will close the, recruitment. All right, so there won't be new recruitment until we actually build another infrastructure for another 1,000. So the current infrastructure capacity is actually for 1,000 bots. All right, so please understand, okay, because we are not MLM, so we are not even, greedy of getting more and more users. No, we don't need actually more users, okay, because our existing users, actually, we are happy with them. So that's why we are trying to keep 300 to 350 users who can be in our Telegram. It is easy to actually manage a smaller group rather than actually trying to reach the whole world. All right. So we are very selective. That's why you can see that we refer you as partners. not as users or client, okay? Because then we don't know who you are. But because you are partners, you are part of our community, you are part of our private Telegram group, so you know that things can be easily discussed, managed, we can follow up and so on, okay? So that's why we are trying. So now we are even trying to make slightly difficult for everyone to be part of JDXBOT, because what we have here is premium, right? What we have here is, I will say that probably you don't find outside that, because the strategy that we have here is completely different, all right? And the amount of efforts that we are putting in is like almost 24/7, all right? So I think this is going to be exciting. So we want to see, you know, those of you who are already, all right, who are already part of JDXBOT are really blessed. So when you start to introduce, you know, or refer to others, you can start to make you know, much greater commission. Okay, so I think this is awesome, right? So this is just to let you know, guys. So 1st of January, okay. So if you want to come in now, currently, yes, the price is the same until 31st of December. So thereafter, it will be revised. Okay, so you will start to see a new price in the back office. Okay, from 1st of January 2026. Just take note of that. Now, another revision that will be coming along in 2026 is that the revision of the profit sharing, right? Now, as you all know, right, in year 2023 to 2024, when we started during the beta testing and soft launch, it was 60-40. So I do receive a lot of, you know, updates, right, from the team, you know, and so on. But at that beginning, we were just starting. And then moving forward from 2024 to 2025, it was 70-30. So you can see that JDXBOT actually reduced the revenue by 10%, and we actually, gave that 10% to our partners. So our partners were earning 70%. And then 6 months ago, right? 6 months ago, we revised it again, temporary, right? This was temporary because we were doing some optimization, so the return was not that, you know, good, right? So what we did, we actually revised it to 75-25. And I did mention to you that this revision will be up to December, right? But the good news is this, that we will extend the 75-25 up to March. Okay, up to March 2026. So that means that every one of you, right, will continue to enjoy 75-25. So then we will revise 70-30 by 1st April. All right, so just take note of that, because by then, high likely, we will able to get the partners referral reward program. We have a partners reward program that we are preparing. All right, so that what we are going to do is that, why are we going to do 70-30? Now, 70-30, because 30% will go to JDXBOT, 5% from the 30% will be allocated, you know, for the referrals, for the partners reward program. So that means that those of you are referring someone, every time there is a profit generated from your hierarchy, you will receive a reward. Okay, you will receive a reward from the real fees that we have deducted. All right, so this reward will be paid like a monthly basis, where you will have a monthly income. So what we are trying to do is that you might have daily income, you know, coming from trading. Then you have your referral income whenever you refer someone. And then you also have a monthly income coming from the reward program. All right, so this is going to be exciting. So please understand, not that 30% may not go 100% to JDXBOT, only 25%. But 5% will be actually directed back into the reward program. All right. So the detail of the reward program, I will explain to you next month, probably when the reward program is ready. But that reward program is, I believe, is going to be real lucrative. Okay, especially those of you who are really building the market. Okay. All right. Okay. Great. Now, I hope. All right. I hope all these insights are helpful. And also, right, allowing you to understand, you know, what we are doing, you know, how is the results, you know, what are those automation that has been embedded into the system and so on. and also moving forward 2026, what we are really looking at and so on. And I really want to appreciate the team, because today is the final AMA session. Let me just, take this time to really thank the team, for all the support that you have given to us, the encouragement that you have given to us. You don't know, okay, the kind words, the encouragement, the support, and being very receptive, even communicating in our Telegram groups and so on, has been, you don't know how much that has actually added, so much value into what we are doing. Indirectly, that is like you are appreciating what we are really doing, right? So I really want to appreciate that. We are so grateful having you as our partners, and I really hope, right, because currently I'm studying something, guys. I might be even, you know, I will let you know, but I'm doing something, to add greater value, to the users. I don't want to leak out anything yet, but I want to just finish the R&D, and if that is complete, right, I think it's going to be awesome, because we might start to see a much greater profitability, probably, right? If I can add another 10-20% to the existing profitability, right? I think that will be really awesome, right? But nevertheless, I don't want to say anything, but I also want to reward our partners who are building. So that's why next year onwards, we want to create a partners reward program, right, where you can actually earn. So the strategy fee that is deducted will be allocated based on the total strategy fee deducted in your hierarchy. So the more profit, the more strategy fee is deducted. So the more strategy fee deducted, the more reward will come to you. All right. So it is not just about how many people you have. Sometimes you can have a few people, but their trading fund is huge. Some of you may not have people with a huge trading fund, but you got so many people, with smaller trading fund, but the volume is big. So based on the deduction of the strategy fee, the reward, okay, will be actually channeled to those partners. And that is coming from the real revenue, right? That 30% revenue of the company, we are going to give away 5%, okay, back to the community. Can you see that? Now, this is going to be huge, right? I do not know. Some of you probably will be making few thousand a month. So it is like a monthly bonus or monthly salary, apart from the referral income, apart from the, net profit from the trading, right? So this is just to reward those who are building, all right? If you are building, then you can enjoy that 5% profit sharing from our revenue. Okay, so just take note of that. All right. So thank you so much, guys. I truly appreciate your time. I trust that you understand all these updates and so on. Okay. So if you have any questions, okay, any one of you have anything that you want to ask, I think probably I can take one or two before I make a move. Yes. Yes. Please go ahead. Aruna, unmute yourself.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
We are grateful, and I'm very happy to meet with you this afternoon. And the effort you are putting concerning the team, I'm very, very happy. And as my proof normally say, that he is the happiest somebody, and I want to imitate him and say, even me, I'm concord with him that I am much so happy. My questions are two. I want to ask two questions. The first question is, if the subscription is expired and the number that is required for the team to be fulfilled, like 1,000, as you said, 1,000 boat, then what will somebody do? What will happen if somebody is still in the business and the subscription fees has expired? What will happen with the subsequent subscription? Number two, what of those that they want to use the fund after closing in the copy trading master platform? they want to use the fund to make the subscription. Maybe one of my colleague that is presently in the copy trading now, he say he want to use the money after the closing of that boat. After you might have closed the business, after the position has also closed, he want to use the fund and join it, the one that is having, so that he will buy the boat, so that he will subscribe the boat. Now, and you are saying this thing is going to be increased. What will it be the position? Because we want to use the opportunity of that $250, so that he will subscribe and use it within this month. How is it going to happen?
Okay, all right. Let me just answer that. I think it's a valuable question, okay, for us to dwell in. Number one is that if you're already part of JDXBOT and your subscription has expired, you are still part of the 1,000, so there's no issue about it. Okay, I think that's clear. Okay. Number two, the new subscription fees will start on the 1st of January. So any one of you who want to be part of JDXBOT now, you have until 31st of December to enjoy the 250. Okay, all right. So I think because it's a system, right? Once we already adjust or amend the system, that is it. The system will follow new payment requirement for the subscription. So I can't promise when we will close the copy master. All right. Hopefully we can close the copy master. Hopefully market will revert, because please understand, guys, we don't trade and decide when we want to close. Our decision is based on the market, right? So that's why we can't give you the timeline. So you know that market is down. So how do you want me to close? Do you want me to close the position in loss?
No.
Definitely, right? You don't want. So if you don't want, then you have to wait.
Okay.
All right. This is common, right? It's a real trading, guys. So I can't be lying to you because you are actually seeing the trade in your own hand. You know that it's floating.
Yeah.
You see that? So that is it. So if the market can reverse these few days, it's great. If before Christmas the market can reverse, it's awesome. But how if the market don't reverse? So we have to wait. So by then, if you wait, it's already next year. Then you need to follow the new subscription then. Even those who are going to renew, if you're existing user, you are going to renew next year, then you are going to pay the new fee, right? I don't think so that's an issue, right? Because you're earning well.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
So just I think that clarifies your question. But if you're already part of JDXBOT, you are already part of the 1,000, so you don't need to worry.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, all right. So as long as you don't lapse, okay, because sometimes when you lapse your subscription 1 year or so, right, the system may say that you are already inactive. All right, but I don't think so. Anyone have lapsed about a year, or unless otherwise you are no longer interested with JDXBOT.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that question. Right. Okay, guys. Yeah, I hope that clears everything. I will put up this video later on, okay, so that you guys can go through some of these important updates. Please do share with your team, all right? Please do share with your team so that they understand all these updates. But moving forward, 2026, right? We really hope to see, probably not only the safeguarding part, but also I believe, 30%, 25% profit, net profit is massive. But if we can further improve that, right, that would be really, really great, okay? Because the focus is ROI, right? Return on investment. The faster, that we can actually get our users to actually recover their capital, yeah, that is the most important thing, right? So with that, thank you so much, guys. I will catch up with you next week. All right, next week, we will have the weekly global preview, all right? So I think that will be the last preview, so I will catch up with you next week. And if you have any other question, do put up there in the Telegram. I will try to answer some of those questions that you have. Okay. All right. God bless you all. Take care, guys.